Although our holiday is now drawing to a close, we've still got a couple of really nice adventures for us to go on. Today we are going to an island, a special island called Pampas. And on this island there's a fort. Now it was built for a very special reason and it still serves a good purpose today. So I'll be telling you more about it once we get there. So enjoy the journey and hold on to your hats because away we go. On our way to the castle the day earlier, we had seen the signs to the ferry or boat that would take us to the island of Pampus. So after breakfast, we left the hotel and drove back to Muiden so that we could catch the boat. Now we had a wee bit of time. We parked in a specially designated parking area, a different one to the first time, and we made our way back to where the locks were and the cafe, had a coffee and waited so that we could embark on the boat. So here we go. Fort Pampus. The fort is on a man-made island situated on what was the Pampas Shallows or sandbank in the then Zuiderzee. Work commenced in 1887 and creating the island and fort required the sinking of 3,800 piles and the importation of 45,000 cubic metres of sand. It took the Dutch 8 years to construct the fort. The fort was commissioned in 1895. The Pampas had facilities for permanent garrison of 200 men, but the only time it achieved that strength was during the First World War. During World War II, the German occupation forces removed the Krupp guns, the cupolas, and other metal. Between 1941 and 1943, they used the fort for target practice before installing some 88mm anti-aircraft guns. In the bitter winter of 1944, the people of Amsterdam walked across the ice to salvage the wood in the fort to burn for warmth. After the German surrender, the authorities used the island for the disposal of unexploded ordnance. Ammunition that could no longer be diffused was detonated. Then in June 1985, the government scouted the fort with an eye to restoring the island and make it accessible to the public. Plans were drafted in the next year and the Pampas Foundation, Stichting Pampus, was established to bring these plans to fruition. The foundation bought the fort in 1990 and in 1992 the fort received a caretaker. And since then the fort has been occupied continuously and in 1996 UNESCO designated the entire Dutch defence line with its 42 forts a World Heritage Site. In 2007, the fortress was partially restored. It is open to the public from April to October, from Tuesdays to Sunday. The new Dutch waterline is an important defence line in Dutch history. The waterline protected a large part of Holland and the city of Utrecht. The waterline was used from 1870 to 1945. The new Dutch waterline served to replace the old Dutch waterline dating from the end of the 17th century and bears this new name from 1871. An important difference between the old and the new line is that the city of Utrecht now falls within the line. And we had such an amazing visit, learnt a lot, saw a lot, ate some, and then journeyed back by boat to later to our hotel where we spent our last evening. These past 11 days have shown us that there is so much more for us to still discover. There's really no reason to cross borders until we've discovered more of the jewels and the preciousness and the history of what's within our own boundaries. This time of COVID has brought us to that thinking that we may want to discover new cultures and eat different foods and whatever, but there is still so much more to see and do and not that far from home. So we have certainly enjoyed these past days enormously, and we hope to make more wee trips like this in the future. So now it was back to the hotel, reminiscing on the things we've seen and planning our last day away. So it was certainly worthwhile. Just the planning alone was fun. And then discovering that some of the things were even more beautiful or far more interesting than we imagined was just a cherry on the cake. So I hope you enjoyed visiting the province Noord-Holland with me, and you've learnt a little bit more about this tiny country, which is just a pinprick on the globe. So time for us to move on. I have lots more on offer, so I do hope you hit the subscribe button and come back and see some more.